for someone who's seen you do stand up and like back Hive 2018,
Yes.
19,
16,
16
17, I think.
itself was incredible to watch. That's why I think I was like, hey, can you please, I have this thing, I have
You
a
know, you were the
show.
first person who tweeted about me and Somera. Like, I know these are like
Oh.
really silly things, but you were like, oh, I saw two really nice comics. And then me and Somera went back and we were like, oh my God, Abish tweeted about us. And we were like so excited. And all of that just kept us going in comedy. Whenever comics that we looked up to or like just, saw perform, and they were like, you were good. We were so excited by that validation. So yeah, I remember that. I was like, guys, Abish. And my friends also took me so seriously after you tweeted about me. They're like, hey, we'll come for an open mic award. I'm like, oh, now you want to talk to me? Because I'll be hot shit someday. Huh?
I think I'd come to watch you guys, or I was performing and I saw, and of course, two very distinct voices. But what really stood out was something that I was lacking for me at that time was authenticity in your comedy, which is something that people kind of progressively get to doing.
Yeah.
You started with authentic experience.
I know what you're saying because even now, I try to, I'm like, how do I be more myself on stage and not what I think stand up comedy sounds like, like I know what you're saying, like ultimate goal is to be the funniest version of yourself, not just be funny, right? Because being funny, so many people can be funny, but like only you can be the funniest version of yourself. So, but I'll say, I think maybe we started very authentically because we were so young and narcissistic that we were like, हम तो best ही होंगे, हमें क्या change करने की ज़रूरत है. I'm really happy we started like right out of college because
Yeah.
we had very few inhibitions, and we bombed so much at that time that we learned how to bomb. Like I'm sure if I started now at 26, I think I would be a lot more scared. For me, ऐसा you can start at any age, of course, but I think I would be so much more. I would have so much more at stake. When did you start?
2008. 87 born, 2008. Can someone do the math, please?
Yeah, this is very tough. Okay.
Uh,
He was 21.
I was 21.
Thank
you so much, Shruti, for answering it from the PCR. I was 21. You were also 21.
Yeah. Okay. So now my question seems so fucking irrelevant. After trying to do maths for so long, I wish I had a deeper question.
That's why comedians work in rule of three, because they just remember 3 points. Those are the counts we know.
But do you think it helped that you started so young, or do you think would you have more inhibitions if you didn't done it for since?
I think that's very, very valid. I think the younger you go on stage, the more inhibitions go away. Being young and starting comedy or being doing any kind of performative pieces really does take your inhibition away.
Yes.
And more importantly, you learn at a very young age to fail on stage.
Yes.
And with stand up, the stink of failure is so harsh that you want to come the next day and wash it away.
Like one day, this is very recent, I was in Surat and had such a good show. I was like, man, there's nobody like me. I'm a comedy killer. It's like, oh, Mumbai better watch out. It's like, man, everyone in Surat dropped their panties for me. So I was feeling so good. And I came and I went to Lower Parel, okay, and this was like a private club, like rich people show. They couldn't give two shits about me. It was silent. And I was like, yesterday I was everything, today I'm nothing.
You're only as good as your last mic. Not your last show, not your last performance, not your last joke, your last mic.
Yep.
Or do you think that's like, that's the way I kind of think, where it's not about whether the comedian is good or not. Because, when a lot of times when you go and watch a comic, you go watch them once. And this is a standard statement we hear all the time. You can't judge a comedian or anyone's art form by the first and the one that they do. It has to be a law of average of that time.
Yep.
Specifically, when you watch a video of yours from the past and you're working on a newer set of yours in the present, even though it did better, there's still like, I'm much better than this now.
This is so true that you are only as good as your last mic, because my confidence when I enter the next green room depends on what happened in the last on stage. Like,
The same. And if you have 2 bad mics, you're like, I'm going to take a week off and wash it away and come back.
Who am